So let's go back. Let's go back to the Eliminators, right? Let's go back to the ECW invasion of Raw. You guys were the first ECW talent to hit the TV. What was that like for you guys that day when you stepped through the locker room of the WWF representing ECW?
It wasn't no big, like, I knew most of the boys, you know. It meant more to the people watching it than it did to me. It was just my job. And it was nice to see guys like World Warrior Hawk. I was with him in Japan a million times, you know, so it was nice seeing him. But we didn't do anything with their guys. Paulie had us hit somebody with the finish. Paulie brought the guy. It was an ECW guy. It wasn't a Vince guy. So we never really interacted with them or anything, you know.
Right.
And PG-13 was there, and they're loud and crazy as shit. And me and John got along great with them. We worked with them for like 6 months every day in Memphis, you know. So it was really great seeing them guys.
Yeah. Did they ever want to bring you in? Because you seem like if anywhere you two would have gone, it would have been to Vince. So were they ever looking to bring you in at all?
We've had 3 tryouts, I think. And every time it was a new way to fuck with us. The last tryout we did, we show up, me, John, and Kowalski showed up to some show somewhere in Maine, I think it was. And they don't let us in the locker room. They tell us it's too crowded, and we dress in a closet.
I've heard that so many times.
Yeah. And so... But since Kowalski brought us there, we stayed and did the match, and you know, if he wasn't there, we would have just left and said fuck it. Yeah. And then we started with ECW right after that. You know, we were playing phone tag with Paulie for probably 6 months. You know.
Wow.
But even after that, though, but even as you guys got established as the Eliminator,
I went to WCW.
But they didn't ever look to bring you two in before, like as you guys were heating up as the Eliminators. They never looked to bring you back or bring you in at all.
No, not that I know.
I'm surprised because it looked like you guys would have been perfect there.
What do you call it? John and I were legitimately fist fighting each other every time we were together. So it couldn't have worked out. It couldn't have worked out there.
No, and then the WCW. I mean, you were all. I mean, that was perfect. That was a good spot. But I mean, you know, we've heard all the stories.
Yeah,
WCW was crazy.
The only problem there was that there was no real organization. The boys did whatever they wanted, and you can't let us do that.
Right.
No.
You know, one of the sayings you would hear every day there from somebody, and I've never heard it anywhere but there. Well, that really doesn't work for my character because everybody has creative input.
Right.
Vince would throw you out of the fucking building if you told him that. You know, he's the boss. And Paulie was the boss, too. As good as we all got along with Paulie, if he told you to do something, you have to do it. It's not like it's up for a discussion, you know?
Who came up with Moppy?
I beat up that guy Mike Bell, and
oh yeah,
and they used it. He dropped me on my head, and I was out on my feet. And by the time I realized that I was beating him up, he was already done. And and Vince yelled at me, "Can't do that." And I said, "Fuck!" He dropped me on my head, and I was, out on my feet. He thought it was funny, and that's when we came up with the storyline. And Pat, one of them, thought of the mop fucking thing.
But
you know what?
Did you hate it?
Yeah, I was a very serious person.
I know. I remember. I remember the first time I saw you do that, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't think Perry's too happy with this."
That fucking thing got over though.
It was on TV every week. You were on TV every week with Moppy.
We're in the Meadowlands for Raw, and when all the marks are coming in the buildings, they would always chant "Rocky, Rocky," you know. So one day we were waiting for the Raw, and Pat Patterson comes up to me. He used to call me Gimmick. He goes, "Gimmick, do you hear him, Gimmick?" And I go, "Yeah, they're chanting Rocky." So what? He goes, "Listen, Gimmick, they're chanting Moppy."
Moppy. Okay.
So and the next week Raven put in the wood chipper. But that's all right because I hated it. I didn't like doing the comedy things.
Right.
Yeah, but see, but that was what was crazy about the Moppy era and the invasion and the ECW and WCW is that they pulled Perry out of the alliance that was ECW and WCW because he got so over with Moppy. They turned him babyface and he left the ECW contingent. That's how over Moppy was.
Yeah, I took things way too seriously because the 20-some years I wrestled, I never beat anybody. Some guys put me over, so I took it way too seriously. I didn't want to do comedy shit like that. And it was a little bit out of my comfort zone. So, but it got over, and I always did it the best I could do it. I wasn't happy about it, but I did it the best I could do it.
Listen, you made it work because you're a professional.
Exactly.
Bottom line.
All right, that's enough. That's enough of the Mark shit out of me.
That's all you
one time on Raw we were in Minneapolis, and they had a bra and panties match, Terry and a couple other girls. So Vince had me go down in the ring in bra and panties and beat all the girls up.
Oh my God. Well,
I wasn't real pleased about that until I got back to the hotel and there was like 6 strippers waiting there for me. They see me at the show.
Oh, there you go. Well,
gotta put them in the rings. We gotta put them in the rings.
But we just, some of like me, Taz, I don't know, Blackman, some guys, we just took it too serious.